Hello everybody and welcome to the weekly vlog where I talk about topics in relation to the channel and video games in general. So this week I'm going to be talking about one, the variation in my commentary between different games in my Let's Plays. So basically I'm going to explain why my commentary changes with the different genre of a game. Two, basically what's going to be coming up over the next few weeks. Three, some of the new fan art that I received this week, and 4, what I've been playing this week. First up is the variation of commentary. If anyone of you have been actually watching various different games that I've been playing in different genres, such as a mixture of action and horror and maybe another genre of game, you'll notice that my commentary varies greatly between them. There's a very specific reason that I do this. Like, with action games you'll find that I'm a lot more hyperactive, I'm more louder, I'm sort of just go mad, I suppose you could say, and I just sort of let loose. Whilst with horror games I tend to be a little bit quieter. Now, as I said, there's a very specific reason as to why I do this. Action games are big, loud, fast, furious, so I make my commentary the exact same way. I make it fast, loud and furious, and just overall really energetic. Whilst horror games are sort of all about the sound and the ambience and about immersing the player into the game. And the thing is, if I was there being all fucking hyperactive and fucking jittery as though I just drank about 5 cans of Red Bull in a horror game, it would just kill the actual immersion, and it would kill the horror for not just the viewer but for myself as well, because I'd be too hyper and too active to actually absorb the horror and what's going on, and I just wouldn't feel it, and neither would you guys as the viewers, because you'd be just I'd just drown out everything. With the horror, everything that's horror I would just drown out because I'd be too loud and too hyperactive and too chatty. So that's why I do be quieter with the likes of horror games, because it allows me to immerse into the game more, and it allows you guys to not have the entire genre just the entire horror just taken out because of me rambling on and talking shite. But with action games, as I said, they're meant to be loud, they're meant to be fast, frantic, and lots of energy put into them, so that's why I kind of just let loose and I go a little bit mad and just completely and utterly talk crap and just enjoy myself. And that's with that said, it doesn't mean I don't enjoy doing other Let's Plays as well, because of course I do. It's just with the likes of horror, I just like to immerse myself and not drown out everything through ridiculous hyper bloody commentary. The same with the likes of RPGs, in that I tend to kind of go in the middle of the two, because there's going to be times where there's nothing going on in RPGs, and then I might, sort of hype up a little bit and get a little bit more energetic. But when it comes to plot and general character development, I tend to slow down a bit and just, focus on what's going on so that I can take it in myself, but also so that you guys can take in the story as well. Because if I'm like doing an exact thing like what I do in an action game, you're not going to be able to get the plot, I'm not going to be able to get the plot, and it's just going to end up with neither me nor the viewer actually knowing what the hell is going on, or at least not in enough detail, and it just ruins the whole experience. Again, this is just my personal opinion when it comes to Let's Plays, but it's the way that I think suits them better, and it's the way that I like to do them. I just think with RPGs and horror games, you need to be that little bit quieter. You can't be just this hyper energetic person with commentary, because it just ruins the immersion of the games. But with action, there's not really any story there with action games 9 times out of 10, so the game speaks for itself and you can just let loose and go mad. So that's why I changed commentary and the way I do commentary in accordance to what I'm playing. So it's just in case you guys were wondering, it's not that one day I'm in a really good mood and another day I'm in a really bad mood or anything like that. It's just the way that I like to do the commentary. I think it just suits the style of game better. That's all. I'm trying to get my commentary to suit the game that I'm playing at the time. So that's why action games are hyperactive and completely fucking mad, and that's why with horror games I'm a little bit quieter. It's just the way that I think suits them better. That's all. Second up is what's coming up over the next few weeks. Now, as I said last week, I was going to basically put 3 different categories, so you're going to get 3 different games each week. Now, at the moment, I currently have Miasmata Mata taking up 1 spot, and I've got my action spot taken up, whilst Pathologic is taking up my long slot at the moment. Now, until I have Miasmata Mata done, I can't really do any more horror, but Pathologic in its own right is still horror. It's not your traditional horror where, like Outlast or Amnesia. It's basically a psychological horror, I suppose you could say. So it does move at a much slower pace, and you're not going to get these jump scares or things jumping out at you at every 5 minutes, or it's really, really intense situations. The psychological horror of Pathologic is a lot slower, and it's, as I said, it's a lot more psychological. So it is a little bit different. I know this isn't everybody's cup of tea. I understand that. I know that not everybody likes this kind of horror. But Pathologic is going to be our horror game until I finish Miasmata Mata. Now, I'm not far off finishing it at the moment. I'm currently on part 20 something, and I'm not far from finishing it. So I'm guessing there's only going to be maybe about 30 odds, no more than maybe 35 episodes in total. And we'll have them uploaded in about 3 weeks, I'd say. About 3 or 4 weeks. But then I'll be going straight on to another proper horror. Well, I wouldn't say proper horror, because psychological horror is proper, but into a more sort of jumpy and horror, jump scare kind of horror, I suppose you could say, or in your face horror is probably the best way that I describe it. I'm not sure what game I'm doing yet next after Miasmata Mata in the horror sense, but I promise it'll be something good. I'm thinking maybe Penumbra, something like that, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But until then, Pathologic is going to be the horror game at the moment. It's just whilst I finish up Miasmata Mata, because I don't like starting a Let's Play and not finishing it in any shape or form, or I'm just putting up some of it here, some of it there, some of it bloody everywhere. I don't like doing it that way. I'd rather just get it all up together and do it that way. But as soon as I got Miasmata Mata finished, I'm going to start another proper, in your face horror game. So apart from that though, the action slot has been taken up by Capsized, which most of it went up last week. The rest of it's going up this week, along with Shadowgrounds, which I briefly talked about last week. I mentioned it anyway. I don't know if I talked about it, but I'll talk more about that in a minute. And so there's still plenty to come, don't worry. Pathologic is still going to take up the long slot, but it's also going to be the horror game just for a few weeks whilst I finish off Miasmata Mata. Next up is the fan art I received this week. I got quite a bit of it here. Sorry, I should have prepared this beforehand. I'm just trying to get the right ones here, sorry. Yes, here we go. So the first one is an Outlast one. I don't know how well you can see this, but it's basically of the scene where your man is in the chair and in the wheelchair, and I was there. I don't trust you, I don't trust you, I don't trust you, and down on the bottom it just says they lie, which is quite true, because the second time I went past your man, he jumped out at me and tried clawing my face off. So yeah. And then on the back there it says Sheffield the best of the best horror, and it's a lovely picture. These are all done by the same guy. It was done by the same young guy that the last one was. He's only 11 or 12, and the next one was from Amnesia, which is where the doors started opening on their own, and of course, me being me, I say I know a likey when doors open by themselves. And again, the same on the back. And next one is again Outlast. I'm trying to remember when this scene was, but I do remember when I said it. And it's where I'm there looking at a dude that's been practically mauled to death, and I'm saying, "You don't look so good." And down the bottom it says he doesn't kill his enemies, which in some cases he didn't, but yeah. And then the final one is, of course, me with my battery situation, where it was just like, I need batteries, and then when I do find them, I'm like, batteries, yeah! And it was sort of overjoyed to see a simple thing like a bloody battery. But yeah, those are the fan arts that I've received this week. Again, they were all done by the same kid. He spent a lot of time making them and that, so I really appreciate it. I know while you're going to be watching this, so thank you very much for doing them. I really do appreciate it. And by all means, if you'd like to do more, please do. I always love receiving them, and I always love seeing what way you have a laugh out of my situations in some horror games, so thank you very much. So next up is basically what I've been playing this week. As usual, I've been playing Pathologic, and I've been playing more Miasmata, which I said we're closing in on the end. I'm about two-thirds, three-quarters of the way there now. And I've also been finishing off Capsized. There's only 2 more episodes to go, which will be uploaded alongside this. And then I've been playing Shadowgrounds, which is kind of like Alien Shooter. It kind of takes on the approach. It's kind of a mixture of games, if you know what I mean. It's a good blend of Alien Shooter, and you've got Alien Breed in there, which was made by Team 17. They've also remade a trilogy. I think the first trilogy was around 2006, 2007. And they've continued on. There's 3 of them out there that remade them. But it was originally a game from the 1990s, a top-down shooter, which was a lot of fun. I do remember playing it on the Amiga. And it's also got a bit of Aliens in there as well from the movie Aliens. A lot of the aliens actually remind me of the alien species from the movies, and it's quite a lot of fun to play. It takes on the gameplay takes on the likes of Alien Shooter. And then kind of like weapon upgrades, things like that kind of work a little bit like Alien Breed did with the ammo vending machines, but you don't have vending machines or anything like that. You just pick up weapon parts and you can upgrade your weapons and give them new abilities and things like that. And then the aliens themselves kind of really remind me in some senses of the creature of Alien. Like one of them its head is so like the alien creature from the Alien movies, in the sense that it doesn't seem to have eyes, and it's just got the big teeth and like that, and all you can see is the teeth and you know, it kind of reminds me of that. And then you have these little things that crawl around, and they kind of remind me of the face huggers from Aliens as well. So there's lots of, it's a lot of fun. Like, you know, it has the odd little issue here and there. It does get repetitive, but it's a lot of fun. If you like Alien Shooter, Zombie Shooter, and all those kind of games, or even Alien Breeds, definitely try it out. You can get it on GOG for €5.50, I think, €5.50, something like that, which is about I think it's about £5 and about 6 something in dollars, something like that. So yeah, you should check it out if you like those kind of games, like Alien Shooter and Alien Breed and all them. It's a bit of fun. It's not as fast and frantic as the Alien Breed remake or Alien Shooter. It's not quite as hectic as they can be, but it's still really good action and a lot of fun to play, and I really suggest checking it out. As always, I'll put the link in the description below. I'm not sure if it's on Steam, but I got it on GOG, so it's definitely on there. There's also a sequel called Shadowground Survivors, which I'll probably get around to doing at some point as well. But we're just about to hit the 15-minute mark, and I think that's about it for this week for the vlog. But I'm going to continue on with a few recordings now and do a bit more Pathologic, and I'll see you in next week's vlog. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and have fun.